And we know what Jesus was when he was a man on earth. What was his profession? Was he a doctor?
Carpenter.
He was a heavenly doctor, but what was Jesus' work?
Carpenter.
But that's his heaven. But when he was a man on earth,
Panday to si Lord
he was
Jesus.
a carpenter. Jesus
Panday to
was
siya.
a carpenter. Because we know Jesus is the foundation. Jesus is the foundation. But also the builder. Without us, without the carpenters, the workers, there's no building. Without Jesus, there's no building, heavenly building for us. And then once though I became, and Jesus came in, and it's like, oh, Jesus, please forgive me for my sins. I could feel right away, boom, that God coming in me. And so it's no longer me. I feel me in there because I'd rather go steal a chicken and have a dinner. I would rather. Good start to a beautiful show, I hope. And welcome to ProverbsGuys Ministry. And I will talk as I lean over and get my phone that I dropped. But it's a beautiful day here in Northern California. And I just had my phone just to make sure that we're getting some voice audio going through. And see, I'm wearing this today because today we are going to see progress on the Nursery Growing With Us nonprofit organization's new project that hopefully for the good they put me in charge of. So with that, but first, I just thank God for the opportunity to share his word, share his beautiful creation with everyone, But first, I'd like to go over what we saw, what the sermon was today. Let me see if I get the right one first. Oh, first we have to share it. Of course, I'm not going to do it wrong. But at Household Church in Sebastopol, the pastor's been teaching on Romans, the book of Romans. And he's doing it a lot faster than usually. Usually it's like a week on a verse or so. But on this one, he's doing pretty much chapter, which leaves out a lot, but it leaves plenty of room for studying on your own. And then we do a little Bible study after. And actually a sermon study. Let's see which one is first. Let me see. Oh, yeah. And this is such a good one because here on YouTube, we are getting into a lot of, not a lot of debates, but there's debates on what salvation is, how you get saved, how you become right with God. First off, you have to know and realize that there is a God, there is creation, hence the show showing the evidence for an intelligent designer. But then once you figure out there is one and you really aren't that nice of a person, your motives are really not love, joy, and peace, but kind of me, which is an evolutionary foundation, is that we look out for us so we can look out for our genetics and pass those on to the next generations. Survival of the fittest, all that good stuff, in opposed to the religious kind of belief that there is a creator out there. And just in Christianity, we believe that the creator visited his creation to redeem us from our sinful ways. And today, Pastor Rich, Romans chapter 6. And so many people in the community that are even either, very legalistic. You got to follow these rules to please God. Well, the Bible will teach us that we can't do anything to reach a perfect God because we're imperfect. And God gave a way to bridge the gap between sin, and that was Jesus Christ dying on the cross. So Paul in Romans 6 is telling us, what shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Now, somebody's like, well, what's context there? Well, Paul has given the message along with Jesus Christ himself that he was the Savior of the world. Jesus Christ, God, creator of the universe, came down, lived a perfect life, was punished for the sins of Dan, who is an imperfect human being. And with my belief in him dying for my sins, taking my place, God's grace may abound. That's the free gift that God gives you. Ephesians 2 verse 8 is, for by grace you have been saved through faith, not of yourselves, a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. Sums it up pretty well. But then we have people that are like, oh, well, you have to contribute. You have to do your part to stay saved. I don't get that, but they do. And then we got the other extreme, though, that's saying, hey, God saved me. He gave me a gift of salvation, so I'm going to go do what I want or continue where I have been. So verse 2, God forbid, how shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Well, you're only dead to sin if Jesus Christ died for your sin and you have the Holy Spirit living inside of you. Just a great chapter for both extremes, as it does talk about God's gift and our sinning or not sinning. So know you not that so many of us were baptized into Christ, were baptized into his death. So baptism is a washing, it's a cleansing, but we were cleansed by his death. And our hope is the resurrection, because his death was in our place. And the other one I wanted to show, which is, let's keep going here. All of them are good. Read all of it, but read chapter 6 if you think that you have to work your way to salvation, or that once you have salvation, you can do whatever you want. So, chapter 6, verse 6, knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin, continue in sin, have it be our master. So on here, again, it says that, and you can see it for yourself, that the body of sin, we're talking the physical? No, we're talking sinful nature, spiritual nature. And this is quite awesome. And for he that is dead is freed from sin. Sin is just missing the mark. You didn't measure up to your standard or somebody else's standard. I've going to all have examples of that throughout time. But that is sin. Sin is not living a perfect life. Sin is missing the bullseye. It's not getting close. Perfection is perfection. Now, if we are dead, if we be dead with Christ, we believe that we shall also live with him. A new birth, a new creation, eternal life. Let's see. Again, it's so good. I didn't keep going to where I wanted. Verse 10, still not there, but so much good stuff. For if that he died unto sin once, but in that he liveth unto God. So we have the ability to be in communion with God, because 9 before that, being raised from the dead, Jesus dies no more. Death has no more dominion over him. Those that are truly walking in God's presence have no fear of death, because death is just a door into eternity. Let's see. And 12, don't let sin reign. Don't let it be your master. Don't do stuff that you know is of darkness, is of just gutter slime, that we all want to do, like the dog going back to its own vomit. Where are we going here? Into sin. As those that are alive from the dead, you can read this again. This is neither yield, 13 here, yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourself unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. So this kind of tells me another view we have out there is the whole Calvinism, that God is the puppet master. He's chosen you to be righteous, or he's chosen you not to be righteous. No free choice, no free will. This seems to say differently. That that we're alive from the dead, and our members, our body, should be righteousness unto God. 14, for sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under grace. So it's not about doing stuff, doing a law, doing any law. Otherwise, it says, other things, not the 10 Commandments. Some people say, oh, this is 10 Commandments. No, it's pretty much any law, any target you're shooting for. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid. Yeah, so to my friends that we would call free grace, or which grace is free, but if you're saved, God said you will have fruit. Now, you can be saved, not produce fruit, and God will cut that off. And we see that in books where he will, as in Corinthians, where a guy was living with his stepmother. God said, deliver him to Satan so that his body might be destroyed, but his spirit, his soul might be saved in the day. And we also have communion. If you're like just mocking God, God allows sicknesses to happen and even death. So it doesn't mean, because we are saved by God's gift. But if you don't show the works, you're either you did not have true salvation, or God's going to punish his children because he wants the best for us. And the best for us is doing great things for his kingdom to get other people on board. If I seen you out there getting drunk, I'm not really thinking that that's a very good way of being. If you're out there hooping it up, doing worldly things, that's not a message I'm going to follow. That's not, and I know you're not happy if you're doing that. So let's see. Right here. So chapter 6, verse 16. Know ye not that to whom you yield yourselves servants to obey, his servant ye are to whom you obey, whether of sin unto death or obedience unto righteousness. So here we go. Right there. There is a choice. You have a choice. I'm not saying this has to do with the salvation. Whether sin unto death, that could be the Corinthian believer who Paul had the people of Corinth bind and kick out of the church, basically, and let Satan do what Satan wanted to do with him. And the verse 2. Keep on going, try another word. Corinthians, number 2, says, the second book of Corinthians is that welcome him back because he had repented. The guy that was bound to Satan repented, and he was to be brought back exactly as a redeemed believer, child of God. So know ye not that to whom you yield. So this is you. This is a person. Are you going to be a slave? Yes, we are all slaves. Slaves to something. Are you a slave to alcohol, to power, to riches, to pride? Or are you, a slave to Jesus Christ, who humbled himself, God of the universe, creator, to die on a cross for you? 17, but God be thanked that ye were the servants of sin, but ye have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered to you. And I am using the King James, so I'm actually not doing too bad with it today. Something's wrong. Usually I stumble pretty bad for my friend, but my friends who like the King James don't want to offend you. So 18, being then made free from sin, you became the servants of righteousness. Ooh, that's pretty cut and dry. And again, if you aren't doing what the Holy Spirit would want you to do, you're putting yourself into bondage. Okay. You guys can read the rest, but I think that hit it, that you have the choice. You have the choice to obey the Spirit. This was good. Verse 20, I like the way it's kind of poetic. For when ye were the servants of sin, ye were free from righteousness. I love the way that's said, is that, you could not be righteous if you're out there doing all that stuff. What fruit had ye then in those things whereof ye are now ashamed? For the end of those things is death. Good friend, this, um, past bad dude, drug dealer, would have put you down just as fast as whatever, because it was all about him. His nephew had going to come visit him, so he goes, I'll bring out my photo book. Tell that's a long time ago, his photo book. He opened it, the first page, and saw him, drugs, worldly stuff. He almost threw up. That is what the fruit, because he was using people. He was supplying drugs to them. He went to prison for it. That though the evidence for his salvation is that he was disgusted by himself, his old ways. And why? He had it all. He had like the Hollywood life, but he wasn't a Hollywood guy. He actually sold drugs to Hollywood people before he turned from his wickedness, from his evil way. And thank God, because he's, one of my best friends now. And so, yeah, but the evidence, he burnt that right off. Open it up. Oh my gosh. Felt sick seeing remembering what he did, what he was, and he burnt that photo album. Evidence of salvation, fruit of the Spirit. Okay, I'll let you guys oh gosh, 23. How could I forget 23? But we'll go 22. Might as well finish them both. But now being made free from sin and become servant to God, ye have your fruit unto holiness, and the end everlasting life. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord. So yeah, the wages, what we do in the sinful, missing the mark, imperfection, we're earning. We're earning. It's a paid wage is death. And here on a twist, the opposite side is eternal life through Jesus Christ. But other places, some go to eternal reward and others go to eternal judgment. Well, you've done it yourself, though. You're volunteering. Please, I beg you, at least look at it. Look at your life. Do you have sin? Which means, are you imperfect? And if there's no God, what does it matter? So if you just thought of like, oh, am I sinful? That's questioning your atheism or other world view, other world religion. So yeah, get on board. So that was a great sermon. And let me see here. Ooh, go back there. Let's get that out of there. I just wanted to start with that. And where are we? I think there. Yes, very good. But yeah, that's why I'm here. That's why we're here at Proverbs Guys Ministries, because sin's a bad thing. Life without purpose is darkness. Sin is darkness. Sin is missing the mark, missing the bullseye. Okay, what happened there? I don't know why that always does that. Oh, but that's my Philippine family. That is awesome. They pray for me and us here in America. I pray for them. Okay, back at that. Let's see what next we got. What else? Let's all right. So that's good with that. There was another Romans verse, but I just went and did the whole chapter. It's just an awesome chapter. Okay. Romans is an awesome book. You have no excuse if you're denying evidence for God and Jesus Christ. Just the trees. And that's what I've been showing you. Video upon video, animal upon animal, the complex creation, the universe upon video, because that's the evidence we all have. We all have the same evidence. You're going to say, though, that, there is no evidence for God, and all that happened by chance. Just as much as you're going to see, I'm going to do this one first. And there we go. Where, as I'm telling and told you, is that we're starting a nursery, a commercial nursery that will make money, hopefully, for God and people with developmental handicaps. I fit in well with my dyslexia, but not these people are just really the ones I met sweet and but have some little more major complications. So here we go. Let's go. Here is my channel where you'll be able to see along with here. There's Maxine. Philip had to put glasses on her. Yeah, I don't know where we're going here. So this is a little landscape we did. So this is the nursery here. Here is our finished little themed garden display here at Oaks of Hebron Growing With Us Nursery here in Sebastopol. So a beautiful fence spot where I've showed before. Beautiful new fence that we're doing, a nice landscape, but we're going to reduce the tall stuff so we have place for signs so we can tell people what we're about, what we have, what we're going to do. So, but in below it will be nice themed, hopefully nice themed gardens. This is our tropical. The boat was used in about 2012 or 13. Santa Rosa Hall of Flowers, which was round the world kind of thing. We got key lime pie. So when you look at that, so imagine the Sonoma County has a themed garden show during the fair, one of the largest in the nation, and it was around the world kind of destinations, and we got key lime pie, which showing like Florida, so it was a tropical scene. I was going to dig up that picture, but it got so late of the actual Hall of Flowers display. One of Gemma's first with me when she came from the Philippines. That's why I think it was 2012, but just awesome fun time. And now touching this with design, you got to see, well, there's a boat sitting out in the middle, 20-30 minute drive to the ocean, half an hour to a river, more than that to a lake. So, did this just fly in? What had happened? And then you look at it, it's like, no, it looks like somebody tried to make a design with it. That is you using your scientific brain to see why that boat is there. Number one, that it is a man-made object. We know boats are man-made objects, but just think if it was something you did not recognize. It was just a cube. And you look at it, it's like, okay, it's a natural material, but it's a perfect cube. You measured, and it's exactly perfect. The measurements, you get out a square and you put it on, and it's totally squared. All the angles, all the sides are squared, and you'd have to say, that was probably not natural. That did not happen by chance. There's things in nature that look pretty close. Saw a rock the other day that looked like an egg. Actually, I have one that I use in the used in the nest boxes for the chickens to lay. Looks, you wouldn't imagine it wasn't an egg until you looked at it. It's like, yeah, the measurements are not perfect, not perfectly egg shaped. So anyway, you have already deduced that this was a design, because then you've got dirt inside that boat, and that happens in nature. That happens by chance. When a boat is the storm or whatever gets submerged, the tides come in and out, bring in sand. But then again, is that chance, or is that a designed pattern with gravity and tides and the distance of the moon? So we can all be scientists here. So when you look at this design and keep going with it, what do we think? Where do we think? Why do we think? And you guys know sometimes that's a big question with me. Okay, so we made a little display with this boat in it, like a tropical little beach. So this is what we're going to reproduce here, showing that we will have tropical looking plants. Started here with some nice Tapian blue verbenas, Like that lavender really goes with the boat. We got some asparagus fern, which luckily did not burn out because we took a kind of shady area, put it here. Really actually doing good. These were separated, these little agapanthus, because their root system, like a grass, is very connective to the ground. It'll hold that little spot. More verbena, so that front section with a rock will be very softened with that. More agapanthus, the dwarf one up in front to hold that dirt. Little. So I just added on agapanthus, africanus, Peter Pan there. They are a monocot, which is technically related to a grass, related to the palm trees. And we can categorize those totally different. Those palm trees are monocots. They're related to a grass, not to a bicot tree, annular ring tree. They are in the grassy type family, but just very interesting. I kind of said it was like a grass. Yeah, as in a lawn, the roots will really hold on, but it is in the monocot family, which means they have. Anyway, look it up. Little Marguerite there, one of the chrysanthemum family, which will give a pretty little spot inside the boat. Doing a mixture of vegetables, ornamentals also, which will give a nice thing. We got the kale back there, which got beautiful purple leaves. Just some lettuce up front to have fun. Cannas will be the foundations. Some rhubarb there and back there, which is probably mentioned it is edible, but the leaves can be poisonous. So yeah. So they make rhubarb pie out of it. It's supposed to have very good in like a celery stalk plant. When you use just the celery stalk part of it, it's supposed to be really good. Now, so as you go, you're not going to know though, even the fullness of the design. You're going to go, oh, why did you not block the bottom of the fence? That looks kind of ugly there. If you wouldn't have known that I want this fence to be actually the focal point. Focal point's not the boat. Focal point is going to be the signs on the fence. And usually, if I'm going to do a landscape, I'm going to do it like it was videoed before, covered up with some nice softening bushes, different textures, different shapes, different sizes. But no, if you look here, this is not one of my designs that I would do because I exposed the fence. I put the boat down low. Look at that. You can't even see the bottom of the fence because I want big signs there so people from the road will be able to know the exciting things going on at Growing With Us Nursery. So many times I hear people, oh, well, God's design is kind of wacky. Oh, if this was designed didn't do very good. Well, you don't know what the design is without knowing the mind. I would hope you didn't like looking at that fence. Just a pretty ugly fence. You would think, why didn't he showcase the boat more? That's kind of like the cool feature, a focal point. It's gonna, you can be like at the beach when you see it. But no, there's more to this design than what you probably thought. Why did I put the little agapanthus there? Well, because it's on a little slope there, and there's gophers and other little digging creatures. They're going to mess up that rock work. So the agapanthus is going to hold that dirt in place. And Trapper Dan better deal with the gophers. Let's see what else we got here. It's edible. And in the back, we'll just have it open for a path so we can put up signs. We sell tropicals, or come visit us, whatever it is. That's our start. We had 8 visitors from a accounting firm that came and did some great work helping us volunteer. Thank you to them, and I'd give them credit, but I can't remember what their name of the company is. My daughter works for them. Sweet. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Stay tuned for more. All right. So, design. What is design proof of? And can we decide it? Can we figure it out? Can we scientifically figure it out? Now, look at that palm tree there. You can see the nice green up top on the one to the left, and some kind of uglier yellowing and the bottom. The other one on the right, there's actually some dead fronds. Now, you looked at it, it's not very well maintained. Somebody's not designing a good maintain. I just haven't got to that part yet. We did prune some of that palm, but not all of it yet. So the palm tree will be manicured more, and you go, oh yeah, that you can tell. You'll be able to see that somebody has managed it. You'll be able to see it just on the trunk. You look up close, there's a bunch of nice straight cuts. Why there's not a whole dead network of those fronds all the way down to the ground. So we can deduce things by the evidence at hand. And right now, I'm going to show you more things that, to me, the easiest and the most simple cause to what we see is going to be a creator designer. Let's say here, remove that, people. That's why here. See, now you know why I got onto this shirt. I have a nice blue one, but I think it's in somewhere else. Because it would have matched the blue boat. Woohoo! Who says I'm not good with colors? Okay, I say that because I'm not. Okay, let's share this one because I couldn't find actually the specific ones because there was a lot of different channels. But this guy, I like his humor, and he shows forth, and I haven't checked them all out. Some of them I have through other channels that he is seemingly just repeating truth from nature, evidence from nature, and we are going to see. And his name happens to be Danny. Why do I see? There we go. Odd Danny. Hey, he's already got it, so you can't call me that. Okay. And he just does, I don't know what he does, but the ones I love are his videos on nature. So let me get that up there, and then I will pick different ones. I don't know, as you can probably know my personality, I just keep going through these things. And usually I've just subscribed to him, but he's worth subscribing to. Guy is funny and shows some really awesome evidence. Then you, as a little science brain, have to decide whether that is evidence for chance, that all this stuff happened by chance mutations worked on by natural selection, or is it better evidence? Are the evidence better to give a cause, to give the reason being an intelligent designer? Let's check these out. Okay, where am I? Who knows? Okay. Oh, I didn't share it yet. Share it first. I'm just excited to show you guys this. Here we go. Put him up full front. Here is. All right. Let's see. Fish World. That was just some awesomeness. But check this out. Okay. Background. This is the Kodiak bear. Let's see what he says.
That is not your average brown bear. That's a Kodiak bear. They get their name because they're only found in one place on the entire Earth, and that's a little island off the coast of Alaska called Kodiak Island. It's basically a subspecies of the brown bear, except on steroids. These bad boys get over 10 feet tall and 1,500 pounds apiece, making them the largest bears on planet Earth. Not to mention, they also have 6-inch claws, which are the largest claws of any bear on Earth as well. Look at that thing! But the reason they're so big is because on Kodiak Island, there's not much vegetation. So these bears are pretty much forced to eat fully carnivorous. I won't be going to Kodiak Island. That is...
Okay. You can see and probably tell if you guys know me that is my sense of humor. So yeah, now we have this evidence. There is adaptation. There is, whether these are mutations or just recessed genes that come out, don't think that has been studied yet. So it might not even be mutations. It might just be in that selective breeding. We all believe it. But if you go back into it, so the isolated population, say they will take the snow like others, but check that out. A black bear, I don't want to see that claw either. Polar bear, grizzly bear, and then this Kodiak bear. Wow. I do not want to get in a fight with anything with even one of those things. So, but you look, yeah, is that now if we found these in fossil record, you'd say, oh, see, this is the old guy. That's the big one. And then a million years later comes the grizzly bear. And then the next guy after 10,000, 20,000 years of evolution. No, this is all happening really quickly in time, in a time frame that is not deep time. So this is actually evidence that things can happen quickly, like the different breeds of dogs. And you look at it, and so whether it's humans, these bears, they're all bears, they're all humans, all dogs. We have no evidence to get from the cat to the bear, to get from dog to bear, whatever the latest thing is. And yes, these bears are going to have pretty close DNA, but we're going to share everything with a claw, with fingernails, is going to have that same productive DNA. That's how it works. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, let's go back. See if he's got another one. Oh, he's got a bunch of them. And that's in our mammals section. Okay, this guy is just evil. I agree with him. Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, knock it off.
If that just looks like a regular spider to you, you'd be in some trouble, because that is not a spider. That is the tail of the spider-tailed horned viper, a highly venomous...
Okay, so no. My friends in the no need for God world, no evidence for God. It's like, well, that was just a little mutation. It adapted to that little species of snakes, and come on, guys. That evidence we're going to look at right now. If no, I know the reason. There's things in your life. We talked about Romans. There is sin in your life that you don't want to get rid of. But check this out. This is just like awesome.
snake found in Iran. And in that territory, there's a lot of animals that feed on spiders, making that the perfect bait. Basically, what they do is they just sit there perfectly still, with the only thing moving being that fake bait spider. And when some dumb animal comes and tries to claim that meal, they become a meal really fast. A highly venomous snake with built-in bait.
Okay.
I don't like it. If that just looks like a regular spider to you, you snake with built-in bait. I don't like it. If that just looks like a regular spider to you, that meal...
So, we'll go back a little more. Check out that tail wiggling around.
comes and tries to claim that meal...
Okay, so, again, to design this thing, we're going to design a mutation, okay? What in its DNA would have had to been changed to create something looks exactly like a spider? Okay, so that's the evidence we got. You got some wacko snake that survives fine around the world just with a dual hypodermic system that pumps in neurotoxins, other whatever, the venoms into its prey. Come on, guys. Oh, this helps a niche. What? Because how does nature know? And why isn't these mutations happening with water snakes? Oh, well, that's because, no, you could have that mutation and it wouldn't go anywhere because there's not spiders in the ocean, in the rivers. So your whole explanation is kind of like fantasy. And that's why my only explanation, because I was there in the dark with you, is that I was more comfortable with trying to control my destiny instead of saying, oh my gosh, there's a creator, God in heaven. So let's check this out again.
They become a
Okay, so he thinks, all right. Now, even if that bird figures it out that that's not food, he's too late. That snake will
meal.
get you. There he is. He's sitting right next. Look at that mouth opening.
Really
Goodbye, Mr. Bird. Hello, little quail. Poached quail. At least
fast. A highly
these.
venomous snake
Okay.
with built-in bait.
So there we got two of our animal kingdom. Who else can we got? Now. Okay, I don't think I saw this one.
If you ever see a log like this
Oh,
floating on water, be cautious.
Okay, come on, guys. That's what, a growth on the alligator. Uh-oh. You guys are lucky. My battery's low. Get out of there. Let's get some.
It has a secret underneath. Meet the gharial. It's one of the largest crocodilians in the world, getting up to 18 feet long and 1,300 pounds. That's the weight of 3 full-size lions. Not to mention, they have this ridiculous mouth with 110 razor-sharp interlocking teeth. That ensures that their prey cannot escape. Oh, and they also have a 2,000-pound bite force too, so
That is crazy. And just look at how that, and it's like, okay, mutations happen because the crocodile doesn't look like the alligator. But you got a bump that actually just happens to hang out on your body above the water. Plus, it eats fish. It doesn't need that. What benefit does it have? Okay, let's see. Next. We went there, we went there. Okay, this is kind of cool. Oh no, we'll do this guy instead. Oh, maybe not. But he's got all these different cool things. All these every different species, type of animal. Oh, let's get into fish. We didn't do any fish. Oh, I had some other really cool fish one. We'll do again fish ones because they were totally cool. Yeah, but come on, all these guys. This is just evidence, guys. This one, I actually looked into it. I thought this was one of those fakies, but it seems to be
the whole
real.
internet thinks this is AI, but it's not. That's the reticulated python. It's basically the King Kong of nope ropes. These things get up to 30 feet long. They could probably eat you. I'm sorry, I should think more positive. I am positive they could eat you. They're actually the only snake in the world with video documentation of them consuming a human. Not only that, they've consumed deer, sheep, bears. This thing has eaten bears. And to make it even worse, they don't have fangs. Nope. Instead, they have teeth that face backwards. So when you try to yank out, the teeth go in deeper. There's no escape.
Okay. Okay, guys. So again, evidence. You've got something that has to hold you, squish you to death, and then swallow you whole. And it just happened to have it doesn't need backwards teeth. It's gonna crush you to death. But again, this evidence could be chance, random mutations, undirected, unguided, or it's a direct creation of an intelligent designer that I would argue has gone astray from the perfect creation through mankind's sin and fall. Well, let's see what else.
I kind of wish it was AI. The whole internet thinks this is AI, but it's not. That's
Okay, a couple more, because this, as you can probably imagine, all these things have their own designs that are totally awesome. Okay, these kind of things. Okay, we'll go back to I don't know if we did a fish yet. Here's a perfect fish.
Let me
Perfect
remind
fish.
you why the hairy frogfish is considered the perfect predator. First off, they look like a plant, and they just sit at the bottom of the ocean with the other plants perfectly still. You can't even tell it's a fish. Not to mention, they have a spine in the middle of their face with a fake worm attached to it. They just hang it out there and wiggle it around. It's built-in bait, and when some dumb fish comes and tries to take the bait, they become dinner. And fast, too. 1/6000th of a second. That's how fast they strike. That's 600 times faster than we blink. Man.
Okay, guys, again, so you've got a fish that has all that growth on him that just by chance looks like sea vegetation. That's not bad enough. Then we have, what did you say it was? Something sticking out of his head. Why is it just on his head? Why don't we see creatures all over the place having little worms, maybe at the side? So some bigger stuff comes and eats it. Oh, that's why it didn't evolve? Is that what you're going to tell me? That there's been plenty of fish that have had these little growths on their side, looks like a worm, can make it wiggle around, but they've gotten eaten because the bigger fish ate the little worm and them. Come on, guys, the evidence is overwhelming that all of these have design. Just like Richard Dawkins said, the appearance of design. That seems kind of ingenuous, because how do you know it's just the appearance of design? Richard Dawkins didn't know he was actually selling you guys out. Appearance means it just looks designed, but it really wasn't. Well, atheist says you don't have any evidence, but when you have evidence, you just say, nope, that's not it. So, guys, I would rethink some of this. Watch some of these guys' videos, even if you think this is random, chance, unguided. I said random. That's because that was in the literature, and I hear that's no longer part of it. So, chance, unguided, undirected, mutations over deep time, knock your socks off. But that was kind of predicted in the Bible. Romans 1, we looked at Romans chapter 6. Romans 1 will tell you that what we've been watching here, is enough to show God's eternal power and majesty. So that's why we're here at Proverbs, guys. We want to give you evidence so you will be without excuse, because now you're without excuse anyway, because a tree shows there must be a tree maker. All the different designs. We didn't do it. Well, let me do one more. Let me try to get to a plant kingdom one. He does mostly animals because they're kind of scary. Let's see if Odd Danny. I didn't even know that was his channel name. Like I said, usually, but I couldn't find any of my saved videos because there's some awesome trees, of course. My thing. Let's see. Oh, the little fake trilobite. Not a fake, a modern trilobite. Okay, let's look at him because I want to make a trilobite. Uh-oh. Did I do it right?
This is a shark, probably the weirdest shark on planet Earth.
You guys see
First
that one
off, they're
You're going to see that one later. I want to see this one. Come on. What did I do wrong? There it goes.
So you're telling me that me and this giant roly-poly come from the same planet? That's the giant isopod, and they're found at the bottom of the ocean in the dark abyss. But that's no worries, because they have chemical receptors and vibration receptors, which is how they find their prey. And when they find their prey, it's over, because they also have 4 sets of jaws that are known for ripping flesh off the bone. And they'll attack anything. We're talking crocodiles, sharks, and here's the weird part. They can eat so much that they almost pop. Like they can eat more than their body weight. But at the same time, they've also been documented going 5 years without eating at all. Make that make sense. There really is aliens in the ocean. So you're telling me that me and this giant...
So he's hilarious. But look at that. And so you got to tell me, we're going to make this thing. But I actually want to make one of the trilobites we see in fossils that are extinct, that I think has better evidence that there was a worldwide flood. Go figure, on a Christian channel. But you look at this guy. So he has sensors. How does that evolve? Come on, guys. Okay. I'm not gonna pound it in. This is just evidence. Knock your socks off that this was just chance, undirected, undesigned. And as I showed you with my design at the nursery, you guys will say, well, there's so much bad design. You don't know the scope. That is kind of an ignorant thing for you to say, because I've designed plenty of stuff that didn't work. Doesn't mean I'm not a designer. I've designed stuff that over time changed to be pretty bad design. Was that the fault of my original design? Come on, guys. There is right or wrong. Oh, I just hit the table. There is right or wrong, and I invite you to the right. Okay. So that's that. Oh, comments. Sorry, guys. I've been, as you know, I can get absorbed. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Oh, let's get rid of him. But again, I recommend his channel. He has that goofy little quirks and just very cool content. Don't know that some of this wasn't computer generated. The ones I've looked at are real, and you saw some of those are real. And so I do not. What? Oh, I highlighted my own comment from earlier. That was weird. Gotta watch those fat fingers. Okay, I'm trying to scroll down here. Why can't I see everybody's comments? Okay. I'll put a hi out there, and hopefully then I can scroll, because right now I'm not scrolling. I don't see any of your comments. Bam. There's the little thing that you're supposed to. Oh, no. Okay. Well, let me go to YouTube, and we'll try to get and read your comments out there that way as the little bar on the side. Oh, maybe I have to do this first. Oh, that's it. There was a viewers' comments may be racist. No, I don't know what it said. Hello, Steph. Oh, let me give you a link. Steph, you got to do a monologue. No, you don't have to, but let's see. What time is it? Oh, I got to head out, but I don't need this now. Help. Did my phone die? 4:30. Yep, I got till 5. I got to be at an appointment at 5. Let me get you guys the link. Let me plug my phone back in. Glad that happened after I figured out I did have sound. Hello, Big Bad Mama, Steph. Let me see who else. If anybody has any comments on this awesomeness of nature. We can all agree how awesome nature is. Okay. What am I doing here? Help. Oh. Central V, or whatever that's called. Oh, good. You know what? See, I should have checked that one out. Like I said, though, I did not check out. I thought polar bears, I had even thought grizzlies were bigger. So that was my disclaimer. I didn't disclaim about that he might just been straight wrong. Anyway, we got that out there. So that was boom. Now, and as we do on truth, and that's why we're also scientific investigators, we can use our mind and check things out. And then you got to believe. Again, the internet. I believed that polar bears were bigger. I believed grizzly bears were bigger. And moot point, because nobody has all truth. I don't even know that the reason, and the point I brought out was that adaptation happens. It is evidence we all can see that there's different species, bears, different species. Oh, there might even be different species, because species, as we know, has no real definition. But usually it is that you can have kids bring forth together. In which case we have a lot of things that are called different species. That's why they get into trouble. Say like a squirrel on the different side of Grand Canyon or a different species, but other animals that don't look alike can breed, are genetically alike. See, okay. Big Bad Mama, you got to be wrong. Stephanie and I thought grizzly bears were the biggest. So, sorry, because of that evidence, Big Bad Mama, you're wrong. I'm right because Stephanie agrees with me. Okay. I'm not going to read your comment because it was probably makes sense. Land, okay, polar bear is the largest land carnivore. We have fossil dogs, bears, and bear dogs. But we don't know they're the same species. We don't know that they were actually related, but they could have been. That's why, as a creationist, I don't get into what the kinds were. All the Bible says is that there was original animals that were created, and they are supposed to be removing that, and they could reproduce. Now, again, so you'll see things like those squirrels that don't reproduce, but that was in the beginning of creation. Through time, mutations do happen. We all agree. And those mutations may be in places with either size restrictions or restrictions or whatever of different reproductive organs that they don't work no more. Okay, let me see if I can get rid of that because it's annoying me. I did it. Okay. What? Missing Mod. Oh my gosh, did I miss her altogether? I was going to have her do a monologue. I love her monologues. I miss it. So what we have here, let me see. I can put that up for everybody. Missing Mod probably went back over to the study with our friend Christian Pike. Not to be blamed. I saw it and said hi over there. So what we have here, as we nearly always do with new structures in evolution, is simply the modification of an old structure in a novel way. One could imagine that mutations that affected the rear or bear, that is true, but I love your statement, is that one could imagine. It is just imagine. It's imagination. Life could have happened this way. It could have been an event. It could have come from outer space. The building blocks could have whatever. But that's not that is not reproducible science. And I do believe, and that we'll agree with this, Big Bad Mama, is that with with the sorry, I just looked over at your comment over there, so I lost track. But we can see that the evolutionary mechanism, what is going on, can be it can appear like there's no God. There, I just twisted Richard Dawkins. Where's Claude when I need him? But that, again, it's just evidence, and that when you take something, but again, that there's got to be trillions of them, trillions and trillions of these modifications. And then again, you got to have it come into a spot in the genome that's reproducible. Then you have the epigenetics, which will regulate when it works, when it doesn't work. So you have like those claws, boom, when it's, and then it has to have some kind of information to tell it when it needs to develop those claws. We know in like the horse kind, I don't know if all of them, a hoof kind, there's some hoofed animals that, if not all of them, but I know some of them, if not all, they have a softener around the hoof. Because you can imagine a kicking baby the size of a pony, horse, other hoofed animal. If you start kicking inside of mama, you're going to kick your way out, and that's not going to be good on mama. So then once it is born, then those things go away, and then they have their hard. So there's so many things that, again, tons and tons of mutations. That's our evidence. Then you can believe that's not evidence for design. That's all good. Okay, let's see what we got. Thank you, Big Bad Mama. I miss you here giving me actual feedback and criticism. Scales, making them bigger. Uh-oh, did I miss something before that? Because I do acknowledge your intellect and intelligence. Okay, here we go. So what we have here, as we nearly always do. Okay, maybe that was connected. One could imagine that mutations that affected the connection. The scales, okay, yes, that's what. Making them bigger or more spidery looking could have a reproductive advantage, more food to the mutant snake. No, that could be. That's a nice story, but they work fine all over the world. And how much energy does it take in the DNA to reproduce something? So, rattlesnakes are doing fine. All these snakes are doing just fine. And especially when they are armed and dangerous with the fang and the venom. Again, we just, for how long, though, did it take to get the spider-looking thing on the tail, the worm-looking thing on the tongue, or coming out of its head? Again, different creatures. There's other fish that have it on their tongue. There's the little shellfish, freshwater shellfish, that has a little worm, and so when the fish bites it, it will shoot in a bunch of the I think they're clams, freshwater clams, if I'm not mistaken. It's not gospel, I'm not perfect, but they will shoot into the mouth the seed for the clam, and then it is a parasite inside the fish until it's big enough to pop on out and live on its own. We have fish, and that was a cool one. I saw a fish that the mother fish lays the egg, and it gets taken up by another species, and then that species, the mom takes care of it in the mouth, and the other species, I think it was a catfish, doesn't matter what it was a bigger fish, would eat all the babies. And then when the mom puts out the fish, she's then thinks these fish that'll actually eat her babies are hers, and she'll take care of them. Crazy stuff, just crazy stuff. And you got and we can imagine how that's very helpful for that catfish to get inside the mouth of another and be able to eat its babies. But again, mutation upon mutation, how do you get there? It's like you have more faith than I do. Okay. Okay, Maud. So glad you came and hung out for a bit. Uh-oh. What did I do again? How come I'm not able to scroll again? Okay. We'll all say good night and best wishes or prayers to missing Maud. Okay. Maybe that was all. Oh, nope. Oh, that was me. Hello, Proverbs Guys Ministry. Oh, that was me. Oh, it comes out when you do your whatever. It comes out with all the different names. Okay. Yes, I invited you guys all. Awake, hello. Awake, not woke. Hopefully your day is going great. I think that's it. Sorry, this is I really like this service. I can actually kind of perform it, but that was 12 minutes ago. I'm thinking there's more, but it's hard. This is the only one I don't like, is the scrolling on this. That's all I had for you tonight. Thanks again. It's been still in the midst of move. It's been crazy because it's nonprofit, Oaks of Hebron, working with the developmentally disabled or handicapped, and I'm just excited to come alongside and help them out. Hopefully, to raise money to give more help to the clients, to people in our society that could be and have been taken advantage of. Not these particular ones that I know, but because they're full grown humans with more juvenile brain function in their dealing with other people. And so I just I love kids. I don't care how big you are. It's been really fun because they helped in the volunteer day. There was a volunteer day where we did the boat and the tropical scene, and so they had a crew there because they're able to be paid. They get purpose in life. They're just just so open, genuine, to me, just fun. Probably that's where I'm kid at heart. So with that, just again, thank you, Big Bad Mama. Tell Claude he missed me. Oh, I think we banned him. Darn guy. If he can come on without, he's pretty fine with me on my show, but tell him, Big Bad Mama, I miss him. But it's like, come on, he knows he's crossing the line, and other hosts don't play, and I let them deal with that aspect. So anyway, God bless everybody's week, or have a great week. If the thought of God offends you, and I know Big Bad Mama doesn't to you, I pretty well, I think you know that Christians saying God bless you is just our way of saying we really hope the best for you, and have a great week. And hopefully I'll see you all another day. And Big Bad Mama, if you're doing videos on me, which I think are always mostly, I haven't seen any that I disliked. Let me know, because I should get back there. Because again, I've been off just doing this show and like watching a couple others. But until I move, till I get this, we have 1 month. Any of you prayers out there, pray. We've got 1 month to get the nursery open. It'll be a soft opening. We're developing nursery stock. We're trying to get a plan, but mainly to highlight to the community just the awesome program and the awesome people that are connected, and patients of Oaks of Hebron. So with that, I'm out of here. What do we do? Oh, thanks again for participation. Got to go over there, and here we go.